It's time for another edition of the Coach Dave Jacobs Show, and it's brought to you by Sinclair Foods. A win on Friday night was important for the Panthers because they would become playoff eligible, and a win they got.
Yeah, I was real pleased with the boys and how we played. It was definitely an exciting football game.
70-34 was the final, and the Panthers were pretty balanced. 5 rushing touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns. Now, circumstances might have caused some of that, but you got to be happy with the way Billy was able to throw, and Jake Varble had a big game catching the ball.
Yeah, I thought that Billy threw the ball as best as he has all year, and he put it on guys, and they gave him a chance, and our offensive line did a tremendous job of. I think he only got flushed out once. But gave him plenty of time, and our guys ran great routes, and it really helped us too getting the running game going, and so they couldn't just sit on one aspect of our game, and we just were able to click on offense.
And for 3+ quarters, you were down one of your starting receivers, Kyle Obertino, tweaked his ankle, and you're here to tell us that it's good.
Yeah, he got evaluated again today, and is getting treatment. It's kind of nice having a day off of school with Columbus Day, but he's getting treatment, and they assured me that he'll be good to go.
And it was nice to see Billy spread the ball around. I think 4 or 5 different guys caught the ball, but Jake Varble, who's had a great season all season long, hasn't had a lot of touchdown catches, but he had 3 or 4 the other night.
Yeah, and Jake's a warrior. He missed school Thursday with the flu, and he's kind of been battling the shoulder. And then when Kyle Obertino goes out, and I want to kind of give some kudos to Austin Turman, who came in and did a good job for us on offense as well. But we had a matchup on with Jake that we liked. They put a sophomore on him, and we put in some new stuff this week that I was really proud of the boys and how they executed. But Jake made some great catches, but Billy put them where they needed to be, and really put the ball up where Jake can use his height and long arms and grab the ball. So it was exciting to watch.
Did you see that on film? The Triad had a small in stature defensive back that plays that side of the field.
Yeah, and then the kid was a sophomore, but he was pretty good on the other side of the ball. He gave us some troubles. He ran a kickoff back, and I think it got called back, but he was their wing back that had a lot of yards on the counters and stuff and sweeps. But it was a matchup that we liked.
And when you got a big lead, you went to the running game primarily in the second half, and as a result, Austin Lolos was able to find the end zone.
Yeah, and I was really proud of that when we get in that double tight stack I, and they've been the Triad's kind of been the conference bully for a while, and they play very aggressive, sometimes after the whistle, but when we're able to get in that and just kind of take it to them. I was really proud of our guys up front and how we played football at the end.
Not a lot of penalties in the game. Special teams okay, had a couple of missed extra points. One of the kickoffs, I believe, went out of bounds, but special teams okay.
Yeah, and we had a big kickoff return with Whitey stepping in, and again when Obi went out, and we had a big punt return again with our little reverse.
Is that trick play that you've been promising?
Yes,
me?
that's about as good as it's going to get. So, but it has worked, the last couple of weeks. So
it was faked the week before, right?
Well, we fake it. It's a fake every time. I determine who gets the ball, and last week it was Kyle that was going to carry it, and this week we thought that they'd be keying on Kyle, and so we let Turman be the designated guy, and it seemed to work out pretty good.
Yes, it did, and you didn't have to punt with Kyle injured. I guess Turman would have been forced to punt, so you didn't have to punt all night.
No, and that's good. The guys know I don't like to do that. That we work on our punt coverage team, and we have a safe punt where we're definitely going to punt, and then we have a choice punt where we can line up and see if they're going to come up and play defense. If they do, then we'll quick kick it over their head. If they're back to return, then we can run a play. So, it's luckily we didn't have to get in that.
And you do have a situation where Billy would be in the game, and he would be the one punting.
Right, that would be our choice punt when we have our offense out there, and we have a choice to either quick kick it or we have a designated play that we will call.
You did that some last year, but I don't think you've used it at all this year, have you?
No, but last year we had Mitch,
Right.
and he could really crush it, and he was just a weapon for us. And Billy is certainly capable of he works on it, every week, and it is something that we haven't had to use, but we will.
Let's talk about, we've talked about the offense. A lot of good things happen. And I do want to point out that the 70 points is a new school record, and the 24 touchdown passes is a record that Billy Ritchie has now set for the school that he will be adding to after he got to 20. So that's a couple of neat records to talk about.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm not a stat guy, and I mean the kids knew about the 70. I really I didn't.
I didn't know either.
And really, I mean it's. And we talked about it before the show here about, scoring 70. Well, they had 34, and it was very similar to the Mount Zion game where you can never feel real comfortable. I mean, they had trouble stopping us, but we also, had trouble stopping them, and I never really felt, the game was out of hand until, probably midway through the fourth quarter.
A team that has 70 points scored against them, but they score 34 points. We're talking of Triad, and they had 420 rushing yards, and that 8 times out of 10 is going to get you a win.
Yeah, and they won't throw, and for whatever reason. But if you got that many rushing, you don't need to throw. And we knew our word for the week was discipline. We had to be disciplined when you play an option team, and we missed our assignments a couple times, and they gashed us, and we ran by the counter a couple times, and that kid can run, and they blocked it really well, and it was a tough physical game. Now, if you weren't there and you look at the score, you're not going to see that, but it was we had some guys limping after the game, and it was a very physical contest.
A rushing team who just runs the ball time and time again, do they use the counterplay much like a passing team uses a screen to try to slow down the opponent's defense?
Yeah, and they respected us. I mean, if they would wait, they would look at the play clock, and they were really trying to shorten the game. As long as they had the ball, they were trying to shorten the game and keep the ball away from us. Which is a respect thing. I mean, they respect our offense and really didn't want us to have the ball. So it really kind of came back to bite them at the end because they really shortened the game, and we were able to pull ahead, and that just kind of changed things. So, but I mean they have their big plays. Coach Bishop and Coach Metzler do a great job on situations and what to look for when certain down and distances, and we knew what was coming, and they still ran it, which is a credit to them.
So is it more of a person being a little bit over aggressive and then just getting a little bit out of position what causes big plays like that?
Yeah, and just a missed assignment. I mean, when they that double wing stuff, if you're a linebacker and your wing motions away, you have to cross key that. You have to look at the other wing. And if he comes back, you have to stay home and play the counter. If he doesn't, then you can pursue. So, a lot of times you get caught watching and they block down, and here comes some big linemen to come kick you out. And, it's a great scheme. I mean, that's what Waterloo had the same thing. And it gives us, as anybody, it's a great part of their offense.
But controlling the fullback and hassling the quarterback, you guys did that all night long.
Yeah, we did. We really shut down their fullback, and that's the key when you play an option team. And their quarterback is a good athlete, and he got loose a couple times, but he was pretty slippery, and he, like I said, he got loose a couple good times, and again, when we know. If they're running the option and the quarterback's coming free, we know who the quarterback player was supposed to be, so we know who didn't do their job. So, that part makes it kind of easy. But their whole deal is they find out who's assigned to take the quarterback, and then they'll block him with the wing, or they'll crack. And that was something that they'll their receivers from the outside would crack down and block our outside linebackers, and our corners wouldn't come up and play the pitch, and they have us sealed, and now the quarterback's out and the tailback's out, and that's just stuff that that's what they do, and we did a good job for the most part, but if they got 400 and some yards, they got some plays too. So
between the tackles, I mean, I can't count the number of plays behind the line of scrimmage where got good pressure and blew up a play before they even got the handoff off, or the cost of fumble. And there's so many good things about the defense, and then you have to almost look at the bad things too. But it kind of overshadowed what the defense was able to do, with good things.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, they've won 2 in a row, and they were, triad. They were excited, and they did the Superman phone booth thing before the game. They went and changed uniforms, just like Mount Zion did, trying to find an edge. And we knew that we were going to get. We're getting everybody's best. We're getting everybody's best shot, and I told our guys before the game, it's just another test for us, and as far as character and taking on the conference bully and at their place, and they were a desperate team, and our guys responded. We got great kids.
The record is now 5-4 or 5-2 overall. You're not comfortable with 5 wins, are you?
Oh no, not when we have 2 left.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we are playoff eligible. Right now, I looked at it, and we're back in 5A. But we'll worry about that. We're gonna try to take care of these next 2, and then you can't worry about things you can't control, and wherever we end up, that's who we'll play.
There were some records that we talked about, but it was also a milestone night for Coach Jacobs. 100 career wins, and there was a banner made up. So somebody was anticipating. I hope they weren't trucking that around for the last couple of years.
My wife, she's probably had it in her pocket it's been a while, but no, it was exciting. I mean, it's been one of my personal goals, obviously, when you start, and as we were talking before the show, I mean, considering the places that we've been, and building the programs, and I've always been a guy that was taught, never follow the legend, always follow the guy that follows the legend. So we've kind of been blessed to be put in places where they've been down, and the challenging thing, the good Lord's put it on my heart to ask for mountains to climb sometimes, and really the programs that we've been to, we've been blessed to kind of build them, and so it's very rewarding looking back at the places that we've been and what we've done.
Well, so many coaches, they get into the profession, they don't last 20 years for one thing, and then there's probably a select few that gets the 100 wins, and then there's probably not too many that scored 70 on their 100th win.
Well, that was just the whole night was a blessing. It really was. It made us playoff eligible, and it was a kind of a silent personal goal for me, and the big thing was for the kids and how they responded and kind of propel us here to finish strong.
Well, if your math says that you don't want to follow the guy, the legend, you want to follow the guy that follows the legend. Is that math mean that Chris Skinner is a legend?
No. Well, maybe in Chris's mind.
Okay.
No, I love Chris. He when he followed Coach Braden, I mean, that's tough, you know, and if you can carry the torch like Coach Braden did when Coach Test, got out, but I mean, it's tough to follow a guy that's had a lot of success, and unless you can keep it going because of that pressure. So we've always kind of found ourselves in places, and really talking about my wife and the banner, I mean, she's the one that has really helped me and supported me on all these moves, and been very supportive, and without her and my kids willing to put up with me, it made it really nice at home too.
Well, we'd like to have Coach Jacobs get a 150 banner sometime in the next few years, and maybe 105 before this season's over or more. A couple of games left in the regular season. The final Mississippi Valley Conference game of the year is coming up on Friday as Jersey welcomes the Civic Memorial Eagles. This is the Coach Dave Jacobs Show. It's brought to you by Sinclair Foods. We'll preview the Jersey CM game on senior night next.
Sinclair Foods is now making its one-of-a-kind Panther Burger available to everyone just in time for the fall sports season, and they are sure you're going to love them. But don't stop there. From their quality meats, fresh bakery, delicious deli with Champ's Chicken, you can't go wrong by stopping at Sinclair's. Sinclair Foods, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Friday night, senior night, Jersey hosting Civic Memorial, final home game of the regular season. And unlike your last two opponents, Waterloo and Triad, Civic Memorial likes to throw the ball, so you've got to prepare for a mirror of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that we have a CM this week, just coming off the game that we did. It's a big rivalry for the kids, and I won't have to worry about them having a letdown after this past week. I mean, it's going to be CM Super Bowl. I mean, they're out of the playoffs, and it's going to make their season to come knock us out, and it's going to be a very spirited game.
And they beat Mascoutah last week, which some might think that's an upset after CM had lost 5 in a row, but at home they were able to knock off the Mascoutah Indians, and now they come to Jerseyville with a quarterback that's put up some big numbers.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete. He really is. I mean, he's he runs the ball well. Coach, they have a great scheme for him as far as throwing the ball, and they got a big running back, and it's going to be challenging.
When you practice against yourself like you do during the summer months with the contact days and then the early part of training camp, you're playing against similar type athletes, I guess, and that helps when you have these type situations with a team that likes to throw the ball.
Yeah, and it's a big challenge for us because, again, the last 2 weeks have been running teams. I mean, and when you're playing a wing T team and then you're playing a double wing option team, and now you're going to play a spread, they want to throw the ball with a quarterback that can run team. It's why you coach. I mean, it's challenging and getting the guys ready, and I know our guys will be ready. I mean, because again, they go against us, in practice and understand, and so we'll just see which team can execute better.
It's also senior night. It's not quite the distraction that homecoming could be, but it is the last home game during the regular season for a group of about 13 seniors.
Yeah, and we're excited about the tradition of what we've done the last couple years, where we'll have the seniors, they ask a special loved one, could be their dad, grandpa, uncle, whatever, somebody that can come shadow them from the time they get to the complex and be out on the field and listen to the pregame and adjustments, and just kind of get a feel for what their son or what the kid has done the last 4 years and what he's a part of, and that'll make it extra special. And number one, I mean, the kids are playing for each other and their school, and you put a little extra on it when they have a loved one in there, because they're going to play for that person as well.
So it's a rivalry for the fans and for some of the players. And the coach, you don't get into the rivalry thing, I know that. But senior night is always special for everyone involved. And then final home game of the regular season. Looking forward to going on the road to Mattoon in the following week. But first things first, Jersey and Civic Memorial. Kickoff coming up on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Coverage, of course, on 1480 WJBM. But we expect a big crowd at the Snyder Sports Complex. Homecoming was a big crowd, and I'm sure you mentioned it last week, how emotional that was, and this senior night could be the same.
Yeah, and these kids deserve the support, and I think we're fun to watch, and I'm really hoping that everybody in town comes out and is loud and supporting our guys, and hopefully if we can get this one the next one, maybe we can get another home game, with the playoffs. You never know. At 7-2, you can. At 5-4, 6-3, you're probably going to be on the road. So, we're wanting the Jersey Panthers to come out and get loud and have some fun and cheer our boys on. Because, like I said, this is a special group of young men that really deserve it, and I believe are really exciting to watch anyway.
And if you fans out there see Coach Jacobs this week, congratulate him on his 100th win. Congratulations, Coach, and good luck Friday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.